And we're back.
And we're back. You see what's going to show. With Ziggity, our Zoom user. Shalom Aleich. So first of all, we keep on talking about water and we keep talking about waves. Now we know that a wave cannot be a wave unless it's a wave in some field, right? So the waves of the water is the waves of water, right? So what about these sound waves? What are they waves in? Ether. How did they make these beautiful star forts in the unbelievable geometric shapes? Possibly something to do with water and the waves of water. A lot of the star forts are built near water. I don't know. Energy from the ether, energy from the ground. Still blibing and still learning in the schus of the captive Eden, who have been captive for almost, or maybe more than 6 months. No, not more than 6 months. Today's 113, and so at the end of next week will be a full 6 months. Okay, and so they should have siyat dishmaya to get free, and this was a Torah should help all of those trying to free them, and it's also for the people who are captive in the propaganda, and the ones trying to free them should have siyat dishmaya through the Heilige sweet Torah that we are learning. Quick, chazah on the Maisa. What is it? 7 minutes, 2 minutes into class, already getting to chazah on the Maisa. All right. Ḥana in the Chada. Have a gazlina b'safinta. I'm going in the safina. In the boat, right? I was going in a boat. The chazinan ahu kavra, and I saw a fish. Yo, speaking of fish, and speaking of, and we're back.
Wait a second.
Speaking of Shlomo Yankov,
I happen to be at the exact spot at this very moment without realizing. I'm at the exact spot of your graffiti.
Oh, good. F the shiabud, big time.
Super chill is the resistance.
Let's go. Good fish.
F the shiabud. I just noticed it the moment you said we're back.
Gewaldig.
That's crazy.
So it happens to be that the first fish I ever had was named Redhead. True, Misa.
Redhead fish?
Yeah, he had like a red thing on his head, and I said, "Oh, little redhead fish." And so I called him Redhead. And then we're starting shear, talking about a fish, and a redhead jumps into shear. David Melech had red hair. Just saying. Okay. So I saw a fish, and it was sitting on the fish, akhla. So really, akhla, like I was thinking, like, what is it like? Like, what is his word? It seems to be an eater of dirt, right? Akhla. Now I got to be honest with y'all. The Rashbam says akhla is a sheretz. But I was preparing for shear today. Now, normally in morning stater, I don't prepare for shear, but we're doing a gadita, we're doing a be'in, so I wanted to prepare a shtick. And so I would take a look at the Ben Yehoyada, and he says that pshat, that this achla is actually a snake, because the snake eats dirt. Achla. So the Ben Yehoyada, by the way, if it wasn't for the Ben Yehoyada, I never would have met the Rebbitzin. I never would have had the schos to meet the Rebbitzin. And so now we're learning the Ben Yehoyada, who happens to be one of the yid to talk about this story that we're learning in Shir. And Ben Yehoyada says Achlatina is a snake. So now we're back to serpent in the water. Like we saw by the Tanin. Right? Beosia, and it all went into his nose. It makes more sense, right? We're like, so the Rashbam was like, no, it's a snickerdoodle fish or whatever, some random fish that my dad said. Stickleback fish. I don't know. My dad didn't send any pictures. The mice are telling me it's a stickleback fish. You might as well tell me it's an akhla, you know? Let's take a look at the stickleback. By the way, stickleback fish, very musical fish because of Nickelback. I don't know if you guys can see me going like this. Stickleback fish is basically, that's what the Rashbam says it is. It's a tiny little, cute little fish. I'll take a screenshot of 4 different types. But the Ben Yoyada says it was a snake. And the snake is Eicheltina. Schleg's making a great. And we send 5 types of fish because Schleg's doing his best fish impression when I took a screenshot. Look at this picture. The stickleback fish, the fish. So it was, according to the Rashbam, it was one of those, but I think that eating afar, it makes more sense that it was a snake in the water. Like the Heruga Ben Yoyada said. We haven't seen the Ben Yoyada yet, but that's the one, stickle the kuda that I saw. So it came to his nose and then he died, right? The Rashbam's, the Bach has the girsa, the mace. That Rabbi Nachman also has that girsa, the mace, right? Schlig, you see the picture I sent to the group? DVJ, see the picture I sent to the group?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Looking the WhatsApp. Hold on.
Oh, all right, no fresh.
Oh.
God, Schlig's doing a fish impression. Schlig, you see the picture? Stickleback.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
More like a sliggleback fish over here. The fish says, what is the fish? The schlig fish is like, are you trying to catch me?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Lamaisa, the water died and the water through it. And we said that it destroyed 60 villages, but they ate from it 60 villages and 60 other villages were able to preserve the food and bring it home. You know, don't think that when we beat the shiabud, which is definitely happening soon, when we beat the shiabud, like, yeah, there might be some immediate benefit from their carcass, but Lamaisa, it's going to be terrible in the long run because we're going to have to like blah, 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 and the shiabud is going to be wild. Also, in the long run, we're going to take from them and we're going to build from them and we're going to infiltrate the shiabud from the nose. The nose, that's the scent of kedusha. That's, you know, by the Cheta Adam Harishon. They mentioned the other 4 tastes. It was beautiful to see, and it tasted delicious, and it felt good, she also heard the snake talking to him, but they never mentioned the smell. Never. How are we going to infiltrate the shiabud with our kedusha? And then the carcass, we're gonna gain a lot from the carcass of the dead shiabud. Now that's how I was learning the sugya yesterday. Rabbi Nachman said, no, the fish is Am Yisrael, and Rabbi Nachman, obviously, Listen, if anyone's shot is cute, I'll say my shot is cute because Rabbi Nachman's bringing a lot of makoros next live. I'm just saying that my shot seems to stem, you know, especially that we hit him with the nose, right? Rabbi Nachman says, the nose, the reference to this thing, because there's a pasuk in Yeshayahu that uses nose, chotem, to mean to stop, to prevent, which was, wait a second, Schligs is getting excited over here. Because Schligs is like, well, wait a second, that's the tough. What are you telling me with the tet? And so now all of these vorts that Schligs tried to tell me over the years, mixing up toughs and tets and shins and sonics, and I was like, all of a sudden, all of a sudden, I'll say that I'll accept that one because it's a pasuk, But still, all of a sudden, it strengthens the Hasidim, making these things, which these leaps, etymological leaps, which I never pull. It's not like I completely wiped it away. Like, for example, with the garon and the groan, that one I had to completely, But when you're saying, oh, this is the same word, it's a tough and a shit, a tough and a tet, So I'm willing to hear those. And we saw in the wild a real example. We saw that in the Rabbi Nachman when he quoted that pasuk in Yeshayahu. So we'll get to that, but so it says umalu michad galgala, right? So they're able to save some of it, right? To eat some of it then and save some of it for later, preservatives. When we take over the shiabud, there might be some science that they have discovered that we don't even know what it is. We're going to use that also in the future. We'll figure it out. There's going to be a crazy amount of research. When we beat the shiabud, first thing we're doing is taking a boat to Antarctica and seeing what's really going on with the ice walls. Saying Shalom Aleichem to the Rakia, Speaking of the Rakia, the Arizal says in one of his songs, he says that the Divrei Torah that we say on Shabbos become the Rakia. So when they came back a year later, they saw that they built up from the fish, the bones of the fish, they built up their habitat. And we continued to live on in the bones of the Roman Empire. And that's the Gemara. Now, the Rebbe Nachman. So it happens to be also, when I sent it to the group, and hopefully we'll be able to get to it, there's also a Maharsha here. I said we're not doing Gra. We don't have a Gra here, so we'll take a look at the Maharsha. So he took a look at the Maharsha, sent it to the yeshiva group, And he says one pshat. He says many pshats. He explains the story different than we were explaining it. But that's okay. We want a lot of different explanations of how to understand the story. I'll say one shtickle from the Maharsha that I thought was beautiful because I like when shtickles goes like this. I'll say one shtickle. The fact that they're able to get from one of the pieces of information that we tell in the story is that they're able to get 300 socks full or jars full of oil, right? Says the Maharsha, this whole story, right? Says the Maharsha, I'm just gonna say the Maharsha outside. We'll see it inside. It's so beautiful and so cool and so pertinent. Says the Maharsha, this story is story of Purim, and the story of Purim, and like Adar, the astrological whatever blah blah of Adar is Pisces, which is a fish. He's like, oh, the fish. And he's like, oh, and that oil is a reference to Hanukkah, maybe. I don't know. We got to see the Maharsha. All I'm saying, we should even see him before Rabbi Nachman the Maisa, because if we're going in order, so we saw a little bit of Rabbi Nachman yesterday. I want to see the Maharsha first. Maharsha was way before, Rabbi Nachman was like, he was pretty big double chacham, but the Maharsha was living at the same time as like the Ramah in Lublin, buried in the same thing. Maharsha, bigger double chacham than Rabbi Nachman. And so I would like to see this Maharsha inside. Can you guys see me? Okay, what am I doing? How many fingers am I holding up? No, whatever. All right. Hava ka'azilna b'svinta chazina lehu kavra. I saw a fish. Mivor al hamaisa Haman. So what is this fish talking about? Haman Arasha. Haman Arash. Sha'amar Ka'azlinan. He's like, let's go, come, let's see. The Ka'azlinan is going, Ratzalomar, one thing. Sha'alachnu b'magum sakana. Let's go somewhere dangerous. You know, I'm going on a boat. Let's go somewhere dangerous. AKA, like, we're in Shushan in Purim times. Magum sakana kidel, like it says in, right? The Chazina kavra. I saw a fish. Who's the fish? It's Haman. Shehabil goral al chodashim. He's like, yo, which month should I kill Am Yisrael? Ad Mazel Adar. He's like, yo, boom, we got it in Mazel Adar. That who's Mazel Dagim? It's Pisces. Sharato Livloa Yisrael Kedag. You wanted to Zigdan. He wanted to swallow Am Yisrael up like a fish. Even here, swallow him up like a fig. So that's what we say in the Megillah, in the Targum, you understand? The Megillah, he says, akhla tina be'osia, right? Oh, the only Targum I might even talk about the fact that Adar is Pisces. I don't know if that's true. I know the Babyster used to really be into astrology before she found the MS of Tyra. So is Adar Pisces? I might be a fish for Yom Purim. Okay. Anyways, it says that the achla tina is osias. What does that mean? It's a muzzle remes to Mordechai. Mordechai was very low. He was a dirt eater, according to Marsha. Mordechai was sitting there eating dirt. He was embarrassed or it was embarrassing to him to go kill Mordechai. Mordechai is so lowly. You know, who Majru remembers Mordechai that it was very low. He was like a little bug in Haman's eyes. Oh, you date to feel as Mordechai, but Mordechai's davening, the water, it killed Haman with the davening. It pushed him to a place that it was destroyed. What was destroyed? The 60 mechuzas that were destroyed is the kol chayil. Anyone trying to destroy us, they're the 60 mechuzah that were destroyed. By the way, very interesting. The Maharsha also is saying, like we were saying, that the shiabud, right? I was talking about shiabud Rome. The Maharsha is saying, no, this is what happened in shiabud Paras. That the Yid came into the nose and infiltrated it and it brought it down. Exactly like what we said yesterday. That the Yidden are going to come in, the Line Day Torah are going to come into the shiabud through the nose, through spirituality, and that's when they're not going to, and we're going to infiltrate, and they're not going to have any, they're not going to know how to deal with us. They're just going to die in the water. And they're going to cause, according to the Maharsha, all of the evil nations are going to die. 60 mechuzi. Should I mention 60 nations that want to die? There's many more on the UN, but all these, this stand and that stand and that stand and that stand and this and that and this and that. Iraq, Iran, it's all B'nai Ishmael. And Russia, all this stuff, Russia, China, Tartaria. Maybe Tartaria also comes from Asav. Tartaria comes from the Vikings, the early Tartarians, the Scandinavian Vikings, the Eastern Roman Empire. Yeah.
I just realized that Russia is like wicked.
Oh, yeah, and Hamas is also wicked. Hamas.
Crazy.
Yeah, big time. And also Nazi, Vayinatz, also a wicked word. All these shiabuds, they like to choose. Okay, so anyways, all our enemies should perish and be crushed by a giant fish. Can I get an amen? Oh, nice. Amen. They shall be crushed, the giant fish. Amen.
That's after they decided not to do Jew.
No, I mean they're enemies, I mean tshuva can help. But it was tshuva, a person that did October 7th is going to go do tshuva and be like, oh, okay, come chill with us. No, dead. We're going to kill them all. And the Arabs that did October 7th is just a small branch of the shiabud. We're going to kill them all. Maybe we can make them swim with the fishes, Sligs. Hey, Sligs, swim with the fishes. So the Alchomine Samech Mechuze, so 70, 60 pounds, they're able to eat it. That's Am Yisrael. That we were able to fight back. It was disaster. It was October 7th. Many, many more times in history. It's just the Simchas Torah massacre is like the most that any alive person has ever seen. That like, whoa, Am Yisrael just got absolutely holocausted in one day. And by the way, in the Holocaust, they were doing 10 October 7th a day in the gas chamber, in terms of amounts. It's not even thinkable. And so, but Am Yisrael was able to fight back. And we also, when we fought back, just like in Mitzrayim, we took all their riches. And so too in Persia, after we took back, it says that we plundered. What? Well, I'm not going to plunder? Dude, we're going to plunder these people so bad. We're going to plunder these shiabud so bad. I want to plunder the Vatican. I've tried once. I plundered a magnet. But that's just getting started in my Vatican plunder. I want to go. I want to just read. I want to read all their library, bro. Get the Menorah back, bro. Plunder city. The achla, right? Like it says that we ate the nations. Let's go. I'm hungry. And also, and he doesn't mention anything about the salting. But that's my explanation, that they're going to have some things that we're not going to do with them, but we're going to take them, figure them out later and increase, and then we're going to take their bones. And then we're going to take their bones and, build it up again, build up whatever they destroyed from us. And it takes samech, because that's what the Talmud does. They do samech sometimes. Okay. Yo, Jacob Schwartz, where are you at in Shir? She's coming over today. We could do some music. So I told him, yo, we live. Restless tonight. Okay. So that's the Marsha that we saw. And the Marsha is another shtickle, but right, he talks about, should we see the rest of the Marshigs? I'm saying Schligs wants to do Rabbi Nachman. And so do I, the Maisa. But what, Rabbi Nachman before Marsha? Marsha Lumdish, They took one. Okay, fine. So the beginning of the story was talking about taking the oil, talking about building up, blah, 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 in Purim. But the second part of the story, what's the Lomar, like it says in Targum, Shenozan Eina Bichad Galgal Mazalos. Haman, he gave his eye to one of the, which astronomical time would be best to kill the Yidden? Vimtzoli Israel Mazel Ra. Right? He's trying to find a bad mazel. Hamas and the current shiabud on Simchas Torah, they come against us. Shehu Adar Aval Nebach Mazel Ahu Shemolim Menu Shloshim Gary Mishcha. The Ram is a lot of simcha in Adar. So much oil, so much simcha. And Alayhudim, Hayza Ora of Simcha was Hazom the Ikar. Well, they had a lot of ira. Got to increase the light from the eye oil of the fish. And every year we go back to remember, and that's why it says that the next year I went back and they built it up even more. Okay, great. That is the Marsha. Says it's talking about Purim, which is coming up soon, and so very important to see that Marsha. Also to see the Helig Maran that we started yesterday. He says the Safina is Lashon Chashivas, Lashon Malchus. Okay.
Pretty amazing that Rosh Chodesh Adar for you just popped up Purim in our sugya.
Yeah, unbelievable, right? Rosh Chodesh Adar now?
Yeah, it's Rosh Chodesh Adar by you still.
And yesterday, Givaldi. Okay, no one keeps me posted. And when is Rosh Chodesh Adar? I always ask.
We gotta get alerts sent to you.
Yeah, we gotta get alerts, Rosh Chodesh Adar, you know. DVJ is like, oh, I didn't know until this morning when I was chazin and shul. Oh, his son told him. This is a Milosh Tagin Dal, my son.
It's Rosh Chodesh today, so of course I know.
So, Misha, Nechmasada. Marvin, Bismillah. Misha, Nechmasada. Marvin, Bismillah. Oh, Misha, Nechmasada. Oh, Marvin, Bismillah. Oh, got my durag on my head. Oh, here today is sponsored by Juice and Dregs, not this crap. Holy jizz, holy jizz. But he has to drink anyways. Baruch Adad Machav, Shekol Ne'aviv, all right?
Oh, man.
Oh, that coconut water is good. Healthy. All right. So Rabba Ḥana, according to the to Rabbi Nachman, Rabba Ḥana, he didn't go nowhere. Guys, Rabbi said, but I in the middle of shir. So I can't get a cold one, but I'm good with the warm one. You know, if I'm gonna have to get sustenance from something which is not Jews in Jerusalem, I don't want to get Ḥana from it too much. You know, I'll keep it warm. But I want to get Ḥana from drink. Well, yeah, not from a drink that's not made by a stark yid. What? I'll get a little Ḥana from it.
It's like when Esther was like the karka.
Oh, gargailam. Yeah, it's a good point. If DVJ knew what you meant with that, he would be having a field day. The Gemara says, how was Esther able to do Gilei Arayis, even to save Am Yisrael at Yaharek Vayavor? Answers those balls. She was just laying there like gargailam. DVJ immediately has a kasha. Esther Achashverosh slept with all of these girls, and Esther won out. She was probably not just a fish in the sack. And we're back to the fish sugya. And so it could be that a woman is karka olam in general when she's having like relations because she just kind of lays there, whatever.
Well, a fish is pretty floppy, Lamai.
They are pat. That's true. Fishes do flap around like a babkin. And also, even if the girl is on top of Chayra, she's still the passive member in sexual congress because she's the one she's like the ground. She's the one that's getting planted in. You know? Who else are we going to plant in? The girls are the only fertile soil we have. And by the way, Shalom Aleichem Ravid. Shalom Aleichem Ravid. We were just talking about treating women like dirt. Because what? Because Esther was karkailam. And we plant in them. We plant our seed in them. So I don't know. Don't worry. We treat our women like queens, not like dirt. But they are closer to dirt, you know. What's up, Reverton? Come to steig some sweet tere? She came to steig some sweet tere. All right. So anyways, there was a fish. Yeah, you wanna roll some sweet bitzbuts? Bitzbuts over here. Sweet, sweet biscuits. I don't know where all the biscuits is, but oh, it's right there. Okay, so it says Vayit Gula Rov, right? So the way that we wanted to learn the fish was that the fish was the shiabud, and the snake in the water that killed the fish and snuck into the nose. We're saying that that's Am Yisrael or the tzaddikim that come through the spiritual conduit, and the shiabud has left open. They left themselves open to a spiritual attack from tzaddikim, and that's why it's the nose, which is the most spiritual thing. Right now, Nachman says differently. I'm not going to go do more chazara on my shtickle. Maybe I'll write it up one day. Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, something fell out of my hat. Something fell out of my hat, and it was this. And if you know what this is, then you know. And if you don't know what it is, then you don't know. All right. Anyways, so it says so that goes to tefillah of Am Yisrael. That so the fish is Am Yisrael, and it had this ochle tina, this sheret. That's tefillah. How do we know that tefillah has to do with the nose? Because it says I will, right? I will prevent from you wasps in the middle of shear. In the middle of shear, we're going to deal with wasps. It says in Bazuk in Yeshayahu Mem Ches Yudalid Yud Gimel Yud Beis Shema El Eli Yaakov. Listen, no wait, hold on. Sorry, Tess. Leman Shemi Arich Api. Hashem says, "Yeah, I'm going to be patient with you guys, but it's not because you guys deserve it. We do it for my name." Utihilasi, and my praise echtamlach, I will prevent from you. But they spell it like I will, like the echtam nose. So what's going on? Tough and tough interchangeable over here. Over here, I don't know, but they talk about it like that, and it says I will withhold from you. And so from there, Rabbi Nachman wants to say, "Oh, look, we see a connection between prayer and nose." It's cute. It's cute. It's a little bit too chassidish even for Yid, you know. If Rav Nachman didn't have a pasuk which uses the word echtom and spells it wrong, spells it like the nose, big mysteries in this pasuk. But we know that Rabbi Nachman was an Adam Gadol b'Yisrael, and so all I can say is cute, interesting. I mean, Shenis Arev Sheretz. So why do they call it a sheretz? They call it tefillah with the sheretz? No, the nose. That's the reference to tefillah, but they call it a sheretz. Swam up in there. You know, that is because a person tefillah is not perfect. There's something tomei in his tefillah, and it confuses him. And a yid couldn't do his avodah perfectly. What does he do? This guy, three things. First, his kashrus la tzaddik is to attaching to a tzaddik. You know? No, it says a selech harav kanelech hachaver.
Absolutely not.
Yeshcha. No, so it's a tzaddik, you know. We should be zocher to be connected to tzaddikim in this world, you know. Maybe we know some hidden tzaddikim. My whole life I thought I was a tzaddik, but then I found out that my friend, he said to me, he's like, "Bro, I don't think you're so nice." And I said, "Oh, I guess I'm just a hidden tzaddik then."
But your other friend argued on
Yeah, my other friend said, "No, you're nice, bad, Sam, but sometimes you might not. You could like be a little cruel Carlos sometimes. I try my best."
Listen, everybody. Shaginda.
Shaginda. Listen, we got to know when we are being a bad midos pirate and when we can elevate. Okay, so first thing is to connect to the tzaddik. Second thing is to give tzedakah. And third thing is vidoy devarim, is admitting, Hashem, I will admit that I give no tzedakah and I did not connect to any tzaddikim. But at least I admitted it. No, I'm kidding. I give tzedakah sometimes. And, I do try to connect to tzaddikim. Everyone who knows me knows that when we're walking around in town and I see a yid and it seems like he knows some Torah, I'm always like, oh, dude, let's talk some Torah. I'm always trying to connect to tzaddikim. And trying to give tzedakah and trying to admit my wrongcomings. Okay, so those are the three bechinas. That's what you do if you're a tzaddik, but you're a voda. I got a little some crumb stuff, some tumah, some sherets got into it. Vizet perish mesa. That the fish died and the water threw it back into the land. What does that mean? V'hizgir shalosh bechinos me'ela l'tata. So it mentions these two things. Mesa. That's vidoy devarim. That's admitting it because it says kulam mumasim is misvadim. Everyone who's right, everyone who's like, if you ostracize him or someone who you're about to kill, he has to do vidoy. Also, the ability to say, like, I was wrong, or I made a mistake, or I don't know, that is an act of killing ourselves. And the Gemara says, "Ain't different Torah miskaimin." You cannot learn Torah. Or maybe you can learn it, but you cannot acquire Torah until you kill yourself on them. And killing ourselves, I always say that's the preconceived notion. See you later is preconceived notion. See you later is something that I heard from my teacher when I was in high school, right? Vash state in pasuk, vash state in gemara. That's killing ourselves. And so, okay. So that's why vidoy devarim is saying, I don't know. Being able to say I don't know is killing yourself because the body is, I remember I heard this in kindergarten. My kindergarten teacher told me pshat. I know it. Kill that part of yourself, and then you can really come to the sugya new, and then you can learn Torah.
Humility.
So right, with humility, very important. Vidoy devarim, right? The water portion, that's tzedakah, like it says shlach lach b'chal pnei hamayim. The water, right? Put your water, listen, sometimes people, right? We see people who need tzedakah, and so we say, I'll give you tzedakah. And they say, that's amazing for the tzedakah. What do you want for the tzedakah? We'll see. Throw the tzedakah in the water. You'll be passing by a completely different lake in a later time, and boom, you find the bread. Because all the lakes are interconnected. Put the bread in the water, you'll find it eventually. The bread is the effort of giving tzedakah, etc. Okay. Asherichem zorei al kol ma'im. Fortunate are you who plant on water, who plant, a Torah, right? Okay. Shehikriv admo latzadik. Wait. And it threw the fish onto the dry land. Tzadik is called a guda. Is lashon of gader. So a tzadik is called the bank, the river bank,
That's Gadera?
That's Gouda. And it's lashon of Gader, which is like a fence or a what's another word for it?
Not barrier.
Barrier, yeah. No, definitely not. Shehu go there, Pirtso Sehem Shal Yisrael. So if we're thinking, is Pashut Herenstein a tzaddik or not? The answer is not a tzaddik. Not yet. Maybe eventually. Because a tzaddik really, or maybe Pashut Herenstein is a tzaddik in the making. I don't know. I want to be a tzaddik, you guys, but I don't know if I'm there yet. They say, at least according to this definition of a tzaddik from Rabbi Nachman, that the tzaddik goes and he makes a geder, he delineates, right? He helps Am Yisrael from their sins and tries to set it up again. I don't really if I see someone else doing a sin, I don't give him musar, You know,
You can only give musr if there's a conduit to do it.
that's true. That's true. That's true. So let's see.
And by the way, when there is a conduit, you will give musr.
Yeah, you can't get to akhla until you know someone's actually gonna.
What about talking nice about the vibe?
About the vibe, that's true.
I'm saying when there's
That's
a
true.
conduit, when you have that relationship,
Right.
you will go ahead and do
All
it.
right, yeah, but like I never do it like, oh, you should be like this.
Not
I'm just
judgmental, but
for
that would never
me,
work. That would-
right. That would never work anyway. So okay, so Yesh Omrim, CBJ, CBJ Tzaddik, Pashut Herenstein. I'll be lucky to be a Beinani. But Shehu go there appeared so saying Shah Yisrael that he, he's go there. He like makes these things that people have broken through. Okay. He brought himself to a tzaddik, brought himself close to a tzaddik. 5 minutes, okay. For these 3 things that destroyed 60 mechuzas. That death, which is saying I was wrong, I made a mistake. Hala as a malchus mi bein sidra achra. So the malchus, where was the malchus? Talk about elevating malchus. Where was the malchus? In the sidra achra. And when a person blinds, he brings malchus up. That should be the kavanah. Every time a person says I don't know, malchus goes up. Every time a person says sheker as fact, malchus goes down into the sitra achara. Tzaddik oralo as a derech hayashar. Oh, maybe I am a tzaddik, because the tzaddik will show the straight path of saying an emes dikasfara. That I could do. A lot of other things I wouldn't be like I would. But saying the yashar dikasfara, I'll take it. Kimosha goes of Haftorah's braces, like it says in Haftorah and braces. Achirim harim achriv harim regavos. I'm going to destroy harim, mountains and hills. Remez al chorban memshalas ha'akum. What that means, it's going to be a destruction of the control of the akum. Unbelievable, Schlegs. Do you see this? Hearing about this? The way that I wanted to learn this story without seeing any mefarshim, just going on the Gemara yesterday, is exactly how the Maharsha wanted, not exactly, but similar to how the Maharsha wanted to learn it. And now Rabbi Nachman is coming over to my side and saying that it's talking about the destruction of the Memshalas Ha'akum. Rabbi Nachman says, but Rabbi Nachman, I said that was the fish. That was the fish that died. Rabbi Nachman said, no. That's like when it says that it destroys the 60, that's talking about destroying the Goyim. So me and Rabbi Nachman, we both said the story is talking about destroying the Goyim. We're just taking it from different times, a little different. Like it, right? The alachti ivrim, but they're loyadu. They're walking and they don't even know what's going on. They're blind people. They don't even know what's going on. Blind people in the dark, can't even help them. You tell them, no, don't get the vaccine. Don't buy a Tesla. You can't even help them, even if you show them the way. But sometimes people wake up. All right, listen, we all have our path. The olachdi ivrim b'derech lo yadu zebechina tzaddik, that he shows the right path. Right, shows how to learn. A tzaddik shows how to learn. So maybe like a tiny tzaddik. V'zeh bechinas parashas derachim kanal. V'shiti mechuza remez al aliyas the malchus. The 60. We saw 60 in a different story, right? And this is Sheshim Ema Malachos. There are 60 queens, aka 60 Masechtas. Shlegs say, what are you talking about? There's 63 Masechtas. Yeah, Bava Basra are 1, and Sanhedrin and Makos are 1. Okay. That's the Malachos. The akhla mine shiti mechuzah, and he also ate 60 mechuzahs. Remez al shnei midos raush shechai b'midbar. 2 bad things that live in the desert. Oh, shechai midaber. Bad midos of someone who can speak, of a human. She'al yado bo aniyas. From this you get to poverty. Ve'al yidei tzedakah mitakin ozam v'yamshich hashepa. But if we do tzedakah, then we bring the shepa. V'zeh achlu mina. That minay. Then you ate from it. Shitim mechuzah. Remez abachina shishim kiburim. The shishim kiburim around King Shlomo. Shemisham ba parnasa k'moshe amru gevuras geshamim. So gevura is where the tzedakah comes from. V'molchu mina shitim mechuzas. The Rebbe is not thinking shtei midos. Rouse is fixing these two midos. Domim tzomeach. So there's also the Chaim Medaber, but there's also domim tzomeach. And that you get by coming close to a tzaddik, because the tzaddik is the bris melach olam. The tzaddik is the covenant of salt with the world. Also, atzvos and taivas, being sad, being lustful, they come from blood which is messed up, which is not clear. The salt comes from blood. Another 60 is the 60 letters in Birkas Kohanim. Because I'm playing 5